Lopez. I am the co-president of the Club California Scholarship Collaboration, also known as CSF. 9/11 is known as one of the most historical important occurrences the United States has faced. After 2 plane crashes in the Twin Towers at the World Trade Center, another in the Pentagon, and lastly, a crash in rural Pennsylvania, many innocent lives were lost. However, we are here today to keep their memory alive. In tribute to those who have lost their lives, please stand and remain silent as Puente High School's JROTC represents the colors and LPHS choir sings the national anthem. Thank you.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Tiger, hold. Right, left. Present, arms.
I would like to welcome Dr. Lopez, Puente High School's principal, to share a few words.
Good morning. Thank you. Thank you all for being here with us this morning. No day shall erase you from the memory of time is inscribed in the Memorial Hall of the 9/11 Memorial and Museum. The students here with us today were not yet born on September 11, 2001. Yet, you students are the next generation to ensure that we tell the stories and to ensure that their lives and their stories are not forgotten. I have shared with our students, as many of you know, a promise that I made to a firefighter 20 years ago. And that promise was that students would never forget the events of 9/11. With that being said, it's not an easy topic to study. But I want to share with you a quote that I heard walking through one of our classrooms. It was one of our history teachers, and he said to his students, "We are not going to focus on how they died. We are going to focus on how they lived." And our students have done a magnificent job of focusing on how they lived. From talking about the everyday ordinary heroes that got up, that went to work that day, that got on airplanes to travel actually to California, to work at the Pentagon to keep our country safe. They were everyday ordinary people. And I had a student ask me, she said, "Dr. Lopez, what do you remember the most about that day?" And what I shared with her is I remember how ordinary the day was. We woke up in the morning, we went to work, I was teaching, students were going to school, and that's what people were doing from California to New York. We all know now that there were many heroes that day, and we lost 2,977 lives. And I am proud of all of our teachers and our students for being here today to honor those lives and their memory. This is what we are doing today. We are keeping their promise, and we are honoring them. With that being said, I would like to introduce some very special guests here this morning. I want to start first and foremost by thanking all of our military and first responders that are here with us this morning. Thank you for all that you do to keep us safe every day. I would like to first thank our Hacienda La Puente Unified School District Board Clerk, Ms. Christine Salazar. Ms. Salazar, could you just stand for a moment? Students, I would like you all to know that Christine Salazar was a student in my class on September 11, 2001. She was actually one of the students in my class that wrote a letter to first responders that I personally took to New York City. So we share a very special bond from that day. Thank you, Ms. Salazar. I would also like to introduce our Hacienda La Puente Unified School District Superintendent, Dr. Jimenez. Thank you, Dr. Jimenez, for being here with us this morning. I would also like to introduce from the city of La Puente, our mayor, Mayor Charlie Planakis. Thank you for being here with us this morning. And thank you to Ms. Roxanne Lerma also for representing the city of La Puente. And I would also like to introduce our Chief of Police, Mr. John Babbitt. Chief Babbitt.
You have people here that have a lot of different stories about that day. From me when I was a kid and just an 8th grader. At 13 years old trying to comprehend the tragedy of this event.
And what does that mean for America in the future? And it was very special for me because my brother was in the military.
The events of the attack and its aftermath were a tragedy for those who lost their lives and the families they left behind.
And I finally found the photo of the firefighter that I made the promise to. So I want to show you that this was, students, this right here is the firefighter that I made this promise to 20 years ago, and it is you that are keeping that promise, so thank you.
2,977 Americans woke up not knowing what would be their last day on Earth. On the morning of September 11th, everyone woke up like any other typical day, moving along with their daily tasks when sudden tragedy hit. No warning, no time. At 8:46 a.m., Flight 11 crashed into the North Tower of the World Trade Center. At 9:03 a.m., Flight 175 crashed into the South Tower of the World Trade Center. At 9:37 a.m., Flight 77 crashed into the Pentagon. At 10:03 a.m., Flight 93 crashed into a field in Pennsylvania. 19,858 body parts found. 3,051 children who lost a parent. 343 firefighters and paramedics killed. 23 NYPD officers killed. 289 dead bodies found intact. The entire American population traumatized. We must sympathize and understand. I understand how it feels to have to pray with all in you to keep someone in your life. I understand how it feels to wake up one day like you got it all, but waking up the next having nothing. I understand not being able to say one last goodbye. We may understand, but we will never know what it was like to live through that day, and let's hope we never will. The phone calls loved ones received to say their last goodbyes. The panic, the fear, the trauma, the pain, the death, we will never forget.
Good morning. My name is Officer Martinez, the Hacienda La Puente Unified School District Police Department. The sound of the bell holds special significance for firefighters. Historically, the toll of a bell summons members to the station, signaled the beginning of their shift, notified departments of a call for help, and indicated a call was complete and the unit had returned to the station. The department also sounded a series of bells when a firefighter died in the line of duty to alert all members that a comrade had made the ultimate sacrifice. One of the most meaningful series of bells is commonly called striking of 4 5s. The fire service is rich with ceremony, custom, and tradition. Our custom of rendering final honors has its origin in the fire department of the city of New York, where many years ago, long before advent of radios and pagers, fire alarms and daily announcements were dispatched from central headquarters to outlying firehouses by the system of bell commands and telegraph. Each different type of alarm or announcement would have its own number of series of bell strikes. When a firefighter died in the line of duty, or when someone important official or someone just died, headquarters would transmit 5 bell strikes, repeated in 4 series, with a slight pause between each series, followed by the announcement. This was done as long as 1865 in the New York City Fire Department to inform the rank and file of the death of President Abraham Lincoln. The custom has continued down to its present day. I ask that you please rise if you are able and remain standing in place until seated by my command. Please rise. Take your seats.